Building Company. Here we go. It is time. Last step in work order number 4 is to reinstall our fully painted, fully finished, ready to rock and roll window trim and the baseboard trim. Okay, so we're going to be using this process again so that we can remove, paint it, repaint it, and then put it back on the wall without having to have the issue of cutting in with a brush and having all this detail work to do. Now we've got a really simple, effective, beautiful way to do wood trim and be able to remove and repaint. So now we've got this combination, and you can see right here on this one length, we have a single fastener. We're going to be using these little beauties, which are super narrow heads. Okay, so these are called finishing screws. It takes a number 1 square head driver, and if we pre-drilled properly with a little countersink right there, that head of the screw will slide and sink right into that at a flush surface to our finished paint. We'll touch it up with a little paint so that it disappears. Now all of a sudden we've got an excellent way to install our trim boards to our wall. Okay, so I'm going to cut in a little bit closer here so you can see the layout, and that'll explain how we put together the puzzle we call our trim work, and then we'll work it and get it all installed. All right, so here's the detail of the layout. So if you remember correctly, we have a 2x4 that is running vertically right alongside our window. All right, first layout line that we need to hit is 1/2 of that 2x4, which if a 2x4 is 1.5 inches thick, we have 3/4 of an inch because we want to put our screw that's holding our trim work in dead center in the middle of the stud that's behind the drywall. Okay, so I've laid that out 1/2 inch over. Next layout line that we need is when we put our trim board up, we're going to come from this inside edge 3/16 inch in, and then the trim board's going to line up right here. So now if I take my jig, right, and I put that against the edge and I line this up, I'm going to be able to see we are at 1.5 inches in from the outside, or excuse me, from the inside edge of our trim board. So I'm going to measure over here to here, 1.5 inches, and bada bing, that's where we have our hole drilled for our finishing screw. So now if we put this all together, it's going to look something like this. All right, here we go. So the next step is we're going to install our left-hand side vertical trim first. Okay, so we're going to match up our numbers. That piece says W1, this is W1. What do you think the W stands for, right? Window. Okay, so window W, we're going to have a B1 down here. That stands for baseboard. If we had a door right here, we would have a D3, right? So our code that we're using to keep all of our pieces accurate in regards to where they go is going to be a letter plus a number. Okay, so that numbering system helps us to reinstall it accurately. When we take it off and we lay it all out to paint, we don't have to worry about which order is where. All we have to do is make sure we've got a corresponding W, W1, W1. Okay, so I'm going to take our pre-drill. I'm going to put our finishing screw in. I'm just going to drive it in about 1/2 inch or so, just so that it's in place and ready to go. What we don't want it to do is sticking through the outside, so I kind of feel that on the back side. So we don't want it coming through the back side. Then we're going to use the super cool multi-tool, and we're going to use, again, that inside corner jig. So if I put it against the inside of the casing and I slide it up until it touches the top side of the casing, that is giving me my lineup or my registration point for both the top edge of this first trim and how this reveal is going to look going all the way down. So I'm going to line up the top edge and then hold it against, and then I'm going to move down here and make sure I slide it to the right until it touches my multi-tool, and then I'll check it one more time in the middle, and we're going to make sure we've got that margin of 3/16 of an inch all dialed in at the top and the bottom. Once I have it set, here's the good news. Grab your tool, drive your trim, set your clutch. I'm backing this down a little bit so we don't overdrive it, and bada bing, there we go. First piece of trim is in. Now, we'd love to go clockwise, but because of the Craftsman style, we have to put in our 2 verticals first, our stiles go in first, and then our rails go in last, okay? So we're gonna jump over here. It tells me we need a W3, so let's pick our W3 from the table. Bada bang, W3. I've got the screw already pre-installed, so now I take that same process. I'm gonna get my multi-tool. This one you kind of have to do left-handed, so I'm gonna put that into place, bring my trim up to it, line up the top edge to the top of the jig, double check it down at the bottom, move it in slightly. We want it so that the trim is touching the blue section, and we've got it all flushed and ready to go. All right, that's in place. Let's drive it. Excellent. Working that clutch just a little bit. This one's a little bit stiffer, so I'm gonna give it a click or 2 until I feel that going in nice and flush. Here's the most challenging. We want it flush, but we don't want to overdrive it, because once it sinks below the surface, it's not gonna look as nice when we actually put our touch-up paint on, okay? So, 1, 2, next piece is gonna be our W2. Let's find the piece, W2, voila. And if I roll it, I know that this is gonna be the inside section. So I'm gonna set it on top. And then what I know, because according to the design, is that the space between the outside edge and this casing, that little overhang right there, that should be 1/2 inch. Hey, look, our multi-tool. We set it to 1/2 inch. We come in here like this. I hold it against, I move this piece out until it touches the inside corner of the tool, and that tells me we are right at 1/2 inch. Check this side, right at 1/2 inch. That's a beautiful thing. We drop the screw. Perfecto. Last but not least, W4. Find the piece. Rotate it so that the screw is in the right position. Same deal. This one, we're going to bring our tool over. 1/2 inch on that side. Double checking it, 1/2 inch this way. That's looking super nice. Drive the screw. Okay, a little bit more. Perfecto. All right, last but not least, we've got baseboard down at the bottom. Let's cut away and let's drive those screws. All right, here we go, baseboard, B1, B1. So we're gonna line this to our left-hand side because we know that's what layout did. We can take this first screw, which we know is 16 on center, drive it. Drive it. Making sure it's nice and flush. Super deal, there you go. All right, last but not least, here's our final tool. What the heck are we gonna use a Q-tip for? Well, it just happens to be the perfect combination to come back in and put a little bit of touch-up paint on the black finishing screws that we have. So we take our trim color and we're gonna put a little bit of paint on the tip of our Q-tip. And here's the ticket. So I'm gonna dip, I'm gonna use the side to kind of take the paint off because we just want a little bit on there because we don't wanna overdo this, and we're gonna go right over the top and just dab those heads so that they have a little bit of camouflage. So when it dries back, aesthetically we have a nice finish. Yes, you're gonna see those little heads a little bit, as opposed to doing this with a finish nail gun, which you'd still have to come back and patch and cover up. But in this case, it's gonna be a little bit smaller. We'll let that dry. All of a sudden, we've got our finished casing. All right, hey, Husky Building Company, that finishes work order number 4. So we've got one more left. Work order number 5 means we're gonna come in and we're gonna do our electrical, okay? So we're gonna start putting in our receptacles and our switches and put our cover plate on, fire it all up and see if she's got electricity. All right, you guys, hang in there, keep building something great. We'll see you soon.